Hey everyone, I'm continuing my next stage of this book that I'm doing for my John Maxwell. This is Your Roadmap for Success. So today's chapter, I'm continuing that journey or that story of where would I like to go. And John Maxwell tells us that he believes each of us has a dream placed in our hearts. I'm not talking about winning the lottery or escapism from our current circumstances or something like that. This is a deeper vision. It's a vision of your dream of what you want for your life, what you would like your life to be like. And a person who has a dream knows what they're willing to give up in order to go up. A dream gives us direction. It gives us a compass of where we would like to be compared to where we are now. It increases our potential because we will be willing to invest in ourselves, and having a greater potential means that we're willing to stretch ourselves. We're willing to be open to other ideas. We're willing to be open to different ways of thinking. That's one of the reasons we go to university, or we take online courses, or we read a wide range of books, because we want to increase our potential. We don't want to die with our potential unused or giving up on our dreams. We want to be able to look back and say, I did everything it's possible to do for me to reach my dream, to achieve my goal. And when I go back to limitations, there is a quote in here and that John Maxwell gives. I thought it was really beautiful. It's by E. Paul Hovey, and it says, a blind man's world is bounded by the limits of his touch, an ignorant man's world by the limits of his knowledge, and a great man's world by the limits of his vision. So if your vision, if your dream is great, then so is your potential for success. Dreams help us to prioritize. They help us to find that hope for the future. I mean, what gets me out of bed in the morning? I could lie in bed if I wanted all day. I'm not working. I don't have to get up. I don't have to take a shower. I don't have to get out and go for a walk. I don't have to exercise. I don't have to do anything because I'm not working right now. I could just sit back and say, I'm just going to leave it. What's the use? What's the point? But dreams help us to give up that way of thinking. They help us to give up having a defeated attitude. They help us to get up every day, make sure we look nice. Making sure you look nice helps you feel good. It helps you feel good about your confidence, your self-esteem, especially when you're unemployed. It's very important. I mean, I don't have to do my hair. I could have just left my hair. I don't have to flat iron it. But when I look nice, I feel better. So dreams will help us to prioritize. And he gives a good example in here. They are back in the day on the Ed Sullivan show, they used to have these plate performers. So they would have these poles and they would put plates on them and spin them. And they'd add more and more and more plates. But then the performer had to run back from one plate to the other plate and keep them going to see how long he could juggle doing everything. And eventually, if you put up too many plates, the plates fall and then they break. So people can get very good at juggling different things, juggling different priorities, but we can't sustain it for a long time. So we have to decide what is our priority, what is more important, and we can't keep spinning plates. It doesn't work. Keeping all our options open is a lot like that. We have to be focused on our dream of where we want to go. And dreams add value to our work. So, for example, when I work in customer service or I work in project management, I'm still an executive assistant, but I'm using different skills. I'm still setting up meetings, I'm still booking events, I'm still arranging travel sometimes for people. I'm just doing it under a different platform or a different title. That doesn't mean I'm no longer an HR professional. It doesn't mean I'm not using my HR skills in that job, whether it's coordinating health and safety meetings or making sure that employees' accidents get reported if I'm setting them up to go out on a job. I'm still using my skills, but I'm adding value to the work that I'm doing by engaging and drawing on those experiences in my job. And it also depends on how we think of our work. So for me, I like sports. So I did very well when I worked on sports campaigns, because for me, it wasn't just about doing the job. It was about knowing that I was contributing to the sports industry and bringing that entertainment to people, watching sports athletes push themselves, and knowing that I was a part of bringing that happiness to people's lives. The same as when I worked in the hospital, or I volunteered in the hospital. I was using my spiritual direction skills in a different way. And when I took that on, I did tell them that, I wanted to use my spiritual direction. So I was there as a listening ear for families, or just a presence in that ICU lounge, or being there for the patients to see that somebody's coming in, walking through the wards. And the patients used to follow me with their eyes. And you saw patients of all ages, all backgrounds, all color, all body types in the hospital. I saw young people who had had heart surgery, and I saw old people who had had heart surgery. So the dream adds value to our work. He gives a good example in here about when he went, he's given an example talking to 3 construction workers. A reporter went and asked them when they were building concrete buildings, pouring the concrete into the site, "What are you doing?" And the first one said, "I'm earning a paycheck." The second one said that, "Can't you see what I'm doing? What does it look like I'm doing? I'm pouring concrete." And then the third one stopped what he was doing and said excitedly, "I'm building a shelter for the homeless." He wiped his hands clean on a rag and then pointed, "Look, over there is where the kitchen will be. And that over there is the women's dormitory, and this here." And that's how he continued. So all of us are doing the same job, but it depends on how we're motivated by that bigger vision and what we're doing to fulfill our dreams. That's what John Maxwell is talking about when he says, what is our dream? And that also helps us when we have KPIs, when we have targets. It's not just about meeting the target. It's about the love and the compassion, the caring that we put into that work, regardless of what we are doing. And that will help to predict our future. If we've been successful in the one area, we can be successful in another area. And if we've failed in one area, we can know, okay, that's not the best fit for me. I can try and move into something else where I'm going to be better suited to use my skills. So that's why he says sometimes we learn, sometimes we grow. We don't fail, we learn. Because all of us have areas of strengths and all of us have areas of weaknesses. So it comes with a thought. First, we have to think about it. It might come as an insight after years to say, "Oh, I never thought of doing that. That's actually something I'd like to do." It might come through other people, but always, as for us as Christians, we take it into a time of prayer. We take it into a time of discerning, and we believe in our ability to succeed. We don't think that we're failures, God is never going to help us to succeed, we're never going to achieve anything. We don't adopt that kind of a mindset. because we have to believe that we can succeed and we will succeed. The second thing is that we have to put our pride aside, because inevitably we're going to make mistakes. If we're not willing to make mistakes, we're not willing to learn. When we went to school, we made mistakes. When we went to junior school, high school, university, we made mistakes, but that's how we learned. And once we learned from that mistake, we didn't do it again. So it's the same thing as starting a new job or starting a new contract. Sometimes people come in and they expect us to be flawless. They show us something once and they want us to do it. But we're all human beings. We all make mistakes. So we have to put aside our pride and we have to be willing to make mistakes. And when we are willing to make mistakes, we also become discontent. We have to engage that creative discontent, because if we don't, it's not going to help us in the long run. Complacency doesn't build success. It's the same as my piano playing. When I was learning the left hand, because I forgot how to play it, it was very frustrating because I was playing after many, many years. But I was like, no, I can do this. I know how to do it. So I went through, I looked at YouTube, I wrote down the notes of what they were, I practiced them, and then I put the left and the right hand together. And that might seem to somebody like, oh yeah, big deal. But for me, it was a big deal because I haven't played the piano for years. So if you have that creative discontent, sometimes it's good, because if our dream is not big, if our dream is not something that seems impossible, we don't give God room to work in it and to work in our lives. We have to develop good habits, but we also have to get away from bad habits. So there are some habits that help us and there are other habits that hurt us, but we have to break out of that rut and start searching inside ourselves for what is our dream, what do we want to achieve, and balance our creativity with our character. If we don't try it, we'll never achieve it, because we'll go to the grave without having tried anything at all. So the moment that you catch that dream, it can be an incredible experience. It might be something to do with your family, it might be something to do with your career, it might be something to do with how you can make other people's lives better. For me, I like helping people. So any profession I'm working in where I'm helping people, I do well in, because I take my skills, I apply them, I learn, and that's how I grow. That's how I try to achieve whatever I want to achieve. I take it one step at a time. I take small steps and I learn from others. And between saying and doing, many a pair of shoes is worn out. That's what John Maxwell says. Because lots of people have dreams, lots of people have strong feelings about it, but you can get into the shower and have a dream, but do you come out of that shower, dry off, and take action? Because I take action. I take action with whatever I can. And even if I know that this is a very small thing that I'm doing, I take action, because it's important that I land that job, that I get that income coming in, that I'm seen in the community, that people can see that I'm taking care of my body, my mind, my spirit. I'm not going to the church without showering. I'm not going to the church stinking. So all of these things are important in our lives. They're important to me. And there's a quote in here, Bobby Bale says, dreams are like soap bubbles floating close to jagged rocks on a windy day. And that's very true, because our dreams can easily be shot down, they can easily be broken, circumstances can change, and we have to change our dream, we have to change our vision. But if we have a vision that's broad enough, we can adjust. We don't have to completely start over from scratch. And then finally, there's the got it stage, where your dream comes together and you're doing what you love, you're embracing your journey, you're making the money. So some of us are not yet there, but we're still taking the steps to get there. And we can have firefighters, those who want to put out our dreams for us, and we have firelighters, those who are willing to stroke the flames of our dreams and help to lift that flame even higher. And when we come together with others in our church, that's what we're doing. We're lifting the flame higher. We're lifting that flame of Jesus higher, that faith higher. That's what we're doing when we're encouraging others, when we're clapping for others, when we are in the pews. We're not just there to take in the word and take in the liturgy. We're also there so that when that liturgy is over, we're taking it out into the world. And that's what's important for me. Today's Ascension Sunday. It's about taking that message out through actions and words by what I'm doing. And there's a lot that we can do on our own. There's a lot we can do with others. Any dream worth pursuing is going to cost. It's going to cost time, money, resources. It's going to cost us. But we have to hold on to that vision, that horizon of what we want to do. And others buy into it. If others didn't buy into it, we wouldn't be able to do anything. I wouldn't have been given opportunities, whether it's here or in England or South Africa or anywhere, to use my skills in the church, to volunteer, to get paid employment. I wouldn't have done anything if other people had not bought into what I had to offer, what I had to give to others. And so people have to buy into us, and we also buy into people. We encourage others, we help others, we motivate others. And our dream is our dream. My dream for my life is not the dream that somebody else has for my life. Somebody else may have a very different vision for how they think my life should be, how they think I should live, how they think I should be in the world. But their dream for their life is not my dream for my life. So we have different talents, different skills, and we go for the dream. We go for what will make us happy, what will bring in the income, what will help to build up society. There are many risks and dangers, yes, we know that. But if we're not willing to go to the mountaintop and we want to just stay at the bottom, then we can give up. We don't have to do anything. But if we want to go to that top of the mountain and see the view from the top, we have to be willing to sacrifice, to study, to invest in ourselves, to take the opportunities that come. And that's how the vision eventually comes about. That's how you get to being the best of the best. That's how you get to winning that Employee of the Month. That's how you get to be invited to go on trips, to help with things. But we each have to discover what is our dream for ourselves. And people like me can help to facilitate. We can do small group work. We can help in the church. We can help with retreats. We can help with many different areas. But for me, I know that my goal right now is to get that job and to get an income coming in. And from there, get what I need to do to keep myself healthy, to make sure I'm investing, to make sure I'm paying back the people that I have to pay back. And when things come like this, when the society starts imploding and there's no jobs, people are all scrambling for the same thing, I do what I'm doing now. I look for new avenues. I look for new opportunities. I look for different ways I can be involved. I talk to my parish priest. I talk to the people that are on committees with me. I let HRPA know because I'm a member with them. I don't just sit back and say, yeah, I have this dream in the shower. I get out of the shower, I dry myself off, and I take action. And it's the same thing with the non-profit work that I do. Whether it's with the church or the Jesuits or whoever, I tell them. I've told the Jesuits many times, I have my favorite Jesuits that I would like to work with, but those opportunities are not there. So that doesn't mean I don't keep telling them or keep reminding them, because I know that I like doing the outreach work. I like being there to help in the soup kitchens and to go out and do the brown bags and all that. But I also have to protect myself a little bit, because I can't just do it on my own, because I know I've had the bad experiences with that. So I keep reminding them. I keep reminding Regis College that I want a position at Regis. I keep reminding the Jesuits, I'd like to be in a support role with you. And I'd like to be working for somebody who understands me and who will be able to work well with me. It's the same when I put out these videos. It's all to achieve the end goal of getting a job, getting that employment. Once that employment comes and the income starts coming in, then I can focus on other things. And believe you me, it's not easy where every time you get a job, you get let go. You get a job, you get let go. I too would like to have that stability, to know that yes, I've got a job and it's secure and they're not going to let me go. And that's the vision that Father Larry wanted for me too, and he still wants that for me. Because I work hard, I'm honest, I do my job. I don't go to work and gyp the company. So it's important to remember that. There's some questions that we can focus on. You can ask yourself, what are your greatest talents? What is your greatest character strength? What do others who have nothing to gain say that I'm good at? What have my unique life experiences prepared me to do? What is my greatest passion, the thing I love doing so much that I would gladly do it for free? What is so important to me that I would be willing to die for it? And then what we do and what some of the things that we've done with the groups I've been in when I've been unemployed, which I now do on my own. We did this at KWA Partners and Film and Daxon. We list our resources. We list all our past successes. We list all the areas we're learning and growing in. And then we see how we can apply those in different jobs. What are the transferable skills? What are the areas we can help the community in? What are the areas we can help others grow in? And then what current circumstances can I positively change to free up more resources or create more opportunities? Because everybody is facing the same circumstances in Canada who is unemployed. It's not just me. But I have unique skills and talents and education to bring to an organization. And that's what I'm focusing on. So all of us have different histories, where we live, where we work, the people we know. And for me, I'm in Toronto. I'm in Canada. So this is where I've made my home. This is where I live. This is where I've contributed to others' lives. Yes, I do contributions to work in Africa through my volunteer work. I do help in India, in different places. But the bulk of my work is here. The bulk of what I do is here. It's in Toronto. It's in Canada. Because it's easier to help people who are here and who are around me than to help people who are far away, who I don't know. And they have different circumstances. Yes, we can send aid, we can help with things like that, but the bulk of what I do is here. It's in Toronto. So for my future, and there is a pattern to life in Canada. There's a pattern to what happens with our circumstances, with our government, because we never seem to get over that bump of getting us to the place where People want to invest. People want to bring their money here, grow businesses here. It's always like they want to go to America, or people are wanting to invest in Africa. But there's growth here. There's a youth here. There's people like me here who are educated, who are looking for jobs. And what we are doing is we are using our skills so that we can help to develop people in Africa, in India. People are leveraging our knowledge to learn from us, to grow from us. And that's what we want. But we also want the money to come into Canada. We want the investment to come into Canada. We want to see job creation here so that we don't have to continuously sit in minimum wage. And it's Gen X that's been affected the most, because the boomers made their money and they have the investments, and then their grandchildren are the ones that they are helping to get into jobs, speaking good about them, helping them. And we are the sandwich generation. We are the ones who are there to care for the elders and the ones who are coming up, but our incomes are not growing. Our wages are stagnant. We're not getting the investment for our businesses. And that's what we want to see the government change. We don't want them to keep saying, oh, retrain for another field, and then you'll get 20,000 towards that. Because we have the skills, we have the education. We want to be moved into good paying jobs, whether it's in banking or healthcare or in education. For me, I like the education field. I'd like to get a job with the Jesuits because that's what they do. They're into teaching and training and helping others. Or the universities. I focused on applying there many times over the years, but I don't get anything. U of T, Ryerson, all these universities in Canada, in America. And with my background in the Catholic theology, I don't see why I shouldn't be able to get something. So I'm not going to give up on my dream. I'm not going to give up on what I'm focusing on. And the John Maxwell fits in with that because it's all based on Christian principles. But at the same time, like I've always done, I don't sit back and say, oh, I'm better than everyone. I'm not willing to take that job in the contact center. I take it. I took it. I did the extra hours. I did whatever I had to do. But at the same time, I want people to come around me now and support me and help me to get to that next level where I'm not earning minimum wage, where I'm not earning, where I can't even make ends meet. Because it's to their benefit. Because then they don't have to send me money. My landlord doesn't have to hear that I can't make ends meet. People don't have to say, oh, I'm worried about you, and because of you, I have so many problems in my life. If you help me to get to that good paid salary, I'll go to New York if I have to. Because the executive assistants in America, they earn $100,000. I'm not even asking for, I'm asking for half of that. And believe you me, you talk to the executive I've worked with, they'll tell you I'm good. I'm not boasting, but I'm also selling my skills. I'm selling what I can do. That's why I told Sting when he had his event, if he has events in Canada, in Toronto, where he's doing fundraising, I'd also like the opportunity to sing with him, to play with him. I'm not the only one. There's other people that have told him, and he's selected them. So why not me? I'd like to have the opportunity to play for Elvis at Graceland. There's millions of people that do it. So why not me? I love Elvis Presley. So why not? If I don't put my name out there, I'll never get selected. That's the way I look at it. And if you don't put your name out there, and if you don't cultivate your dream, no one's going to do it for you. You'll be sitting singing in your lounge like me, to the four walls. But I've had those opportunities where I've sang to an audience here in Canada, and I've played in the churches. So that's why I make the videos and I put them out there, because somebody might see it and say, you know what, we need somebody to play for a wedding or to fill in somewhere, or to come help us at Regis College. That's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for the sake of it. It's to generate an interest and to generate raising awareness so that it can lead to good things. That's why I'm doing it. And I won't stop asking the Jesuits because that's what I want to do. I don't want to have to keep contacting the Archdiocese and getting emails saying it's not necessary. How else am I going to get my name out there? I have to tell them. I'm a spiritual director. I'm looking to help with retreats. I'm looking to help where there's opportunities at the colleges. I have to do it, and I have to keep reminding them, and that's what I'm doing, because no one's going to do it for me. It's nice if they do, but my experience of Canada is no one's going to do it for me. It's not like Zimbabwe. There's nobody that knows my parents, my grandparents, the family. There's no one. So I do it for myself.